In 2019, a woman named Cynthia Petion and her husband Eddie started a company called NovaTech. NovaTech was in the business of day trading both fiat and cryptocurrencies. They had a team of expert traders all over the world and employed advanced artificial intelligence to detect trends and predict currency and crypto prices. While it was operating, NovaTech reported world-beating returns. For example, in 2022, almost all crypto assets suffered massive declines. Yet NovaTech paid out a compounded profit of 428% to its investors. As you might have guessed, NovaTech was a Ponzi scheme that relied exclusively on money from new investors to pay off old investors. The scheme collapsed in 2023, and tens of thousands of investors were left financially ruined. If you have even a basic level of financial literacy, you'd know that any investment offering 428% returns is probably a scam. Yet NovaTech was somehow able to raise over $1 billion from 200,000 investors around the world. For a Ponzi scheme to raise over $1 billion, it has to be highly sophisticated, and the mastermind must be highly intelligent. In this video, we'll take a deep dive into the scary world of Ponzi schemes, and see how NovaTech was able to fool hundreds of thousands of victims. To understand NovaTech, we first need to understand the history of its founder, Cynthia Petion. There's not a whole lot of information about her early career. I was able to find an old profile of her on Realtor.com. She was originally from Long Island, New York. At some point, she moved to Florida to become a realtor. In 2017, she found a new business opportunity that was significantly more lucrative than selling houses. She became a promoter for a Bitcoin mining company called AWS Mining. AWS is short for Automated Web Services. It is not to be confused with Amazon Web Services, which goes by the same acronym. They claim to have massive Bitcoin mining operations in Paraguay, China, and Russia. They marketed an investment opportunity. If you paid them money, you could rent a portion of their mining capacity. You would then receive a return based on how much Bitcoin they mine. They advertised returns of 15% per month, which translates to 435% annualized. If a 435% return wasn't enough, you could make even more money by becoming an affiliate. As an affiliate, you earn a commission on each new investor you bring in. If someone you refer becomes an affiliate themselves, you also receive a portion of their commissions. It was a classic pyramid scheme where participants are incentivized to bring in as many new investors as possible. Here's a short clip of Cynthia promoting AWS in May of 2018.
Touch on, because there's a lot of newbies here that really don't understand. I've gotten a lot of questions like they don't understand what mining is and how it actually forms the Bitcoin and the process of
good. Yeah, that's
of
a good one.
getting paid out from what mining is, mining rigs, and how AWS.
Right. So that's an excellent question. So cryptocurrency is, as you guys may be familiar with, is basically digital online currency, right? It's not a physical coin that you're holding; it resides on the internet. There's several different ways that you can actually earn income with it. And the first is, you can just buy coins and hold them. And I always recommend that people do that. If you have a good coin and it's doing well in the market, buy it, hold it, and over time as it grows, you have an investment that's growing along with you. Another way to earn income with it is trading. All right, a lot of people trade. To me, I don't really have the patience for trading. When you think about Forex or anything like that, that's all trading that's being done. Requires you to buy low, sell high, watch the market, know when's a good time to buy and sell. For some reason, I just have that kind of luck that any coin I buy, doesn't matter how good it's doing, it starts to decline very rapidly after I buy it. And that also requires a bit of patience that I just don't have. Now, mining is another aspect of how you can earn income with cryptocurrency, in that there's a series of validations that has to be done before it can be released. That validation is what the process of mining is. It's done through mining rigs, which are nothing more than computers. If you guys go online on our YouTube channel, you'll see actually what they look like in our farms. But every single time a transaction is verified or validated, and that's done by having to solve mathematical problems. So every one of these computers are solving all these mathematical problems, and when it's able to do so, it's paid a commission. And that commission is what we as miners are earning as income. So it doesn't matter what the value of the coin is. A coin could be worth 10,000, it could be worth $10. We're still getting paid because we're getting paid for our proof of work.
The clip is interesting for a few reasons. Firstly, Cynthia says she's bad at trading crypto. She's so bad at trading, she jokes about the fact that any coin will automatically start falling right after she buys it. She says this to support the narrative that Bitcoin mining is safer than trading. The fact that Cynthia is bad at trading will become relevant later. Secondly, she clearly has no idea how Bitcoin mining works. She says it doesn't matter the value of the coin because miners are still paid for their proof of work. This is not true. When you mine Bitcoin, you receive newly minted Bitcoins as your reward. Your revenue in terms of US dollars absolutely depends on the price of Bitcoin.
Because at the end of the day, one of the things that makes mining profitable and not profitable is its difficulty level. And if you have a lot of miners in the same pool, all fighting to solve the same problems and equations, the difficulty rating goes up and the profitability goes down. So we're able to move from pool to pool in order to make sure that we're not losing our profitability.
Now she says that AWS moves around across different mining pools so they can participate in less competitive pools that are more profitable. This is nonsensical. The first miner who completes a given block receives newly minted Bitcoin as a reward. Because all miners in the world are competing for that same block, each individual miner has a very low chance of winning. To increase their chances, miners form blocks. They agree that if any one of them wins the block, they'll have to split the block rewards across all of the miners in the block, proportional to how much computing power they supplied. It's conceptually similar to if a group of friends agree to each buy a lottery ticket. If any one of them wins, they'll split the money. If you participate in a bigger mining pool, you will indeed earn a smaller portion of the block reward. But a larger pool also has a higher chance of winning the block reward. The size of the mining pool has zero impact on the expected value. Cynthia clearly knows almost nothing about Bitcoin mining, but she's immensely skilled at public speaking. She's able to talk confidently and coherently. A listener with no prior knowledge about crypto may be inclined to think she knows what she's talking about. Now let's listen to her talk about how much money you can make on the platform.
Just one of my accounts, let's say I bought a $2,000 plan, it's made over $5,000 in mining bonuses only because I added a couple of other plans to it, but it's made $300,000 in 6 months' time in the affiliate program. So
I'm sorry, did you say what? Can you say that number one more time?
I'm sorry, that was a 3 with a couple of zeros. I lost track.
Oh boy. All right.
She claimed to have invested $2,000 into AWS and been paid $5,000 in profits from the Bitcoin mining. But she made $300,000 from affiliate bonuses by referring other investors to join. Remember that in these pyramid schemes, the promoters get a percentage of the investment from their downline. The most lucrative situation is for the people you recruit to become promoters themselves. This way, you can get commissions from the people they recruit as well. That's why Cynthia emphasized that the best way to make the most amount of money is by becoming an affiliate. Cynthia was one of the most successful promoters of AWS, receiving the title of Vice President. It is alleged that she made $3 million from AWS, mostly from affiliate commissions. Of course, the 435% annualized returns that AWS offered were too good to be true. It appears that they did have some mining rigs, but their mining revenue wasn't nearly enough to pay 15% per month. Their primary source of funds was from new investors. It was a classic Ponzi scheme. In November of 2018, the Texas State Securities Board sent a cease and desist letter to AWS Mining, saying that they were not registered to sell securities in the state of Texas. After this regulatory action, investors became suspicious and tried to withdraw their money. Of course, AWS didn't have the money to pay them back. The scheme collapsed and investors lost hundreds of millions of dollars. Cynthia was not charged with any crime related to her involvement with AWS Mining. While Cynthia allegedly made $3 million from AWS, it is believed that she also invested at least some of this into the platform herself. At the time, she may have believed that the company was legit. Either way, after the scheme imploded, she lost her primary source of income. Cynthia lived a lavish lifestyle in Florida. She seemed to spend money almost as quickly as she could make it. By the end of 2018, she had $12,000 of unpaid credit card debt and was missing payments on her mortgage. In other words, she was on the brink of bankruptcy. To get out of her financial difficulties, Cynthia came up with an idea. Instead of just being a promoter for a Ponzi scheme, why not found a Ponzi scheme herself? So in June of 2019, she founded NovaTech. Cynthia technically co-founded NovaTech along with her husband Eddie, but it appears that Cynthia was the main mastermind. NovaTech claimed to employ professional traders all around the world who day traded both traditional and cryptocurrencies. Their main product offering was their Percentage Allocation Management Module, or PAM. This was a completely passive investment opportunity. You send money to NovaTech and they'll invest that money into their FX and crypto trading strategies. You'll receive 70% of the profits while NovaTech keeps 30% as their management fee. To say that NovaTech was good at trading would be an understatement. While their returns fluctuated from week to week, they were always positive. They never posted a negative weekly return in their history. Profits were paid to investors weekly. Weekly returns generally range from 2 to 4%. If you reinvest your profits over the course of an entire year, your compounded return would be over 400%. Coincidentally, this annualized return was very similar to the returns previously advertised by AWS Mining. Investors were encouraged to reinvest their profits. If you remember, back when Cynthia was promoting AWS Mining, she joked about how bad she was at trading crypto. Just 1 year later, she starts a crypto trading company that generates world-beating returns. You might wonder, why would anybody trust Cynthia Petion given her previous track record of promoting a Ponzi scheme? Cynthia claimed that she too was a victim of AWS. When she was promoting it, she thought it was completely legitimate. She felt bad that so many people lost money. That's why she created NovaTech, which gave an opportunity for people to make back their losses. In an attempt to gain credibility, Cynthia bizarrely claimed that the FBI conducted an investigation and found that NovaTech was completely legit.
You know what, Cynthia, that's the group that had an FBI investigator do a 700-page report. Remember I sent that to you?
Yeah,
and
I wasn't
we were
gonna
like,
read that.
you think we're going to read this 700
pages?
pages?
When you sent it to me, you were like, I said, hey, they said we're in a scam, you know?
And the bottom line of that whole story is that after 700 pages, they said, yes, the investigator said, this is a good company to move forward with. And so we're really happy to hear.
Stop saying that, because now everybody's going to write support asking for that report. I don't have it.
That's
Don't
it. That's right.
Don't come looking for me for it. I burned it once after I read the bottom line. I was like, well, thank you for telling me what I already know.
A 700-page FBI report proved that NovaTech was legit. Of course, Cynthia conveniently burned the report so nobody else could read it. NovaTech had an affiliate program very similar to AWS Mining. NovaTech would give you an affiliate link. You get a percentage of the money invested from any new investor that signs up via your link. If you refer someone to join NovaTech and they also become an affiliate, you receive a percentage of their commissions as well. In pyramid scheme lingo, this is called the down line. NovaTech paid commissions on your down line up to 7 levels deep. Cynthia recruited many of her old friends from AWS to join NovaTech. For example, in this AWS event from 2018, one of the participants is a man named James Corbett. Cynthia recruited him to be a promoter for NovaTech. Here's a clip of Corbett promoting NovaTech in 2022.
It's a self-sustainable vehicle, meaning that no new money coming in is going to pay out anybody in profits. The profits are generated through the PAM accounts, hedge fund, so to speak, each and every week. So at no time can NovaTech be considered a Ponzi. They use no new money to pay out the profits that we're seeing each and every week.
When someone feels the need to proactively tell you that he's not promoting a Ponzi scheme, chances are he's promoting a Ponzi scheme. Corbett became one of the most successful NovaTech promoters. His downline grew to 80,000 people who invested more than $100 million. The affiliates were useful for 2 reasons. Firstly, they ran WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups, Zoom sessions, and YouTube webinars, where they would try to convince new investors to join. Secondly, NovaTech only accepted payment in cryptocurrency. They did this to avoid the anti-fraud safeguards in the traditional banking system. Many of NovaTech's investors knew almost nothing about crypto. The affiliates would help them make a crypto wallet, etc., so that they could send crypto to NovaTech. Cynthia had a very low opinion of the people who invested in her company. In private communications, she referred to herself as a zookeeper. She was presumably insulting the intelligence of NovaTech investors by comparing them to zoo animals. She also referred to NovaTech investors as cult members, saying, quote, "People just join and follow mindlessly. They don't think, they just agree with everything you say," unquote. As you've probably already guessed, NovaTech was a complete fraud. Only a small fraction of the money raised was ever invested. This chart shows the amount of money ostensibly in NovaTech customers' accounts in blue. At the peak in late 2022, NovaTech investors thought they had $190 million of assets on the platform. The orange line is the amount of money that NovaTech actually invested in its trading strategies. Of the over $1 billion deposited into NovaTech, less than $26 million of it was ever traded. What little trading they did was not profitable. Between 2019 and 2023, NovaTech made $18 million of trading losses. Each week, Cynthia manually set the trading returns that were shown to investors on their online dashboards. In 2022, crypto prices were collapsing, including the cryptocurrencies NovaTech claimed to trade. Despite the unfavorable market conditions, NovaTech continued to report gains every single week. By the summer of 2022, NovaTech was starting to run low on funds. Cynthia sold her home in Florida and fled to Panama with her husband. Cynthia and Eddie Petillon are believed to have transferred approximately $40 million worth of crypto to their personal accounts. In November of 2022, the California State Securities Regulator issued a desist and refrain order. This told NovaTech to stop doing business in the state as they were not registered to sell securities. In May of 2023, the scheme collapsed. NovaTech shut down its website and users were unable to withdraw their funds. By this point, over 200,000 investors from all over the world had invested more than $1 billion into NovaTech. That means that the average investor put in about $5,000. Cynthia and Eddie Petillon have long since fled the country. While they are believed to be residing in Panama, they could honestly be just about anywhere by this point. They may never face justice for masterminding this massive Ponzi scheme. The SEC has also filed charges against a number of NovaTech's top promoters. According to the SEC, many of them were willfully ignorant of NovaTech's fraud. In some cases, the promoters asked Cynthia for additional information and proof that NovaTech was actually trading crypto profitably. She always refused to give them any useful information. Despite these red flags, they were happy to turn a blind eye and continue collecting their massive affiliate commissions. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video. What do you think about NovaTech? Are you surprised that such an obvious scam was able to raise over $1 billion? Let us know in the comments section below. As always, thank you so much for watching and we'll see you in the next one. Wall Street Millennial, signing out.